Hey guys, it's 8/27/2022. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Excuse me. Excuse me. Tanner gets afraid when I sneeze. I don't know why. He just gets afraid when I sneeze and he leaves the room. Um, Hopefully they won't put me through a sneezing fit and I get through this video. So as far as my targeting goes, not much going on. They were hitting me in the head earlier today, and they made me run to the bathroom a couple times. It wasn't that bad of a day, but they were hitting me in the head quite a bit. I was cooking for the dogs and stuff like that, and they were hitting me in the head and stuff like that. But microwaves to the head, throwing my balance off, kind of feel a little woozy, and it's not really good feeling to feel, to go through, So, but I want to talk about our memories, you guys. Our memories. Our cognitive thinking. This affects our cognitive thinking. When I hear people talk and they're alert and they have no problem speaking and everything else, I question if they're a real target or not. It's just the way I am. I'm skeptical of a lot of people. I'm sorry for that, but I am. And I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy because I warn people of perps. Then they turn it on me because I'm warning them purposely, and people are like, "Why are you such a hater?" and all this stuff, But I'm trying to protect people. I don't want people to get hurt by felons and criminals and everything else that they use, Especially older ladies and stuff, senior citizens, that are real TIs, But so let's talk our memories. I was, this affects your memory. They can block your memory. They can block it if you're trying to think of somebody's name or something like that. I was trying to do that tonight. I laid down from 7 to 8, and I was trying to think of this girl that I used to work with about 12 years ago. I couldn't think of her name. I'm like, is it Becky? Is it Nancy? Is it this? Is it that? It wouldn't come to me. It was on the tip of my tongue. And I should have known her name, and it just didn't come to me. It took like 10-15 minutes. I'm like, oh, her name was Betsy. That's what her name is. So they can cause memory problems for us, you guys. They can block what we're trying to think of. They can block what we're trying to think of, So if we're trying to think of somebody's name or what we, I don't know if it's what we did the other day, but if we're thinking of somebody's name and stuff like that and who that person is and stuff, they can block that, so you can't remember their name. You just block it out. They can do that on purpose. So this causes all kinds of cognitive thinking problems for us. We have a hard time remembering things, from these weapons and being hit in the head all the time, and they deliberately block things out that we're trying to remember, mostly like names, dates, stuff like that. Mostly like names, like people that you are trying to remember their name or something, and you can't think of their name, or that happens a lot with me. They do that quite a bit. But these, we're being hit in the head. We're getting a constant stream of energy on our brain, 24/7. It's going to affect our cognitive thinking. Sometimes it's gonna interrupt the way we speak. I don't know. I see people that are alert and well spoken and everything else, and I'm like, how do they do it? They claim to be hit so hard. How are they? You can tell they're intelligent and they're well spoken and everything else. I just, that's the way I am. I question if they're real or not, because they're so with it. Real TIs that I know, they have a hard time expressing themselves. They can block what you're trying to say. If you're trying to talk about something, they can block it. They can do silent V2K during. Sometimes they do when I'm making these videos. They'll do silent V2K and they'll put other thoughts in my mind, like I want to talk about that instead of what I'm trying to talk about. They will cause all kinds of problems with our thinking. With these weapons, and they do it on purpose. To fumble us up. And they fumble us up, and that's what they do. They're trying to make us look unintelligent, I guess, or something. I don't know. But these weapons do cause all kinds of cognitive problems for us. Especially if you're trying to explain something to a doctor or a nurse or something like that. You have problems because they're interrupting your thinking with silent V2K. And they're putting thoughts in your head at the same time, or monitoring you at the same time. So they can cause all kinds of problems on purpose. So you can't get out what you're trying to say. And they do it a lot of times when I'm making videos. They're not doing it right now, but they will do it a lot of times when I'm making videos. Now they're putting images in my head of a girl. But they've been putting this girl. She's way too young for me, you guys. In my head for the last 2 days. And they've been putting images of her in my head, and not sexual images, surprisingly, but they've been just putting images in my head of almost like past memories of me going to the store, or whatever, where I seen this girl, and all this stuff. They're very perverted, and I'm sure there's another reason for all this stuff. It's just, I'm not going to really get into that. Brian too talks about all that stuff. Trying to erase your short-term memory and thought triggered attacks and all that stuff. I'm not going to go into all that stuff, but but this is what they do. They do this for a reason. All day long. 24/7. And then you try to go to bed and you have manipulated dreams all night long. I don't know if it was last night before, I had a dream that I was homeless and I needed a place to stay, and I had a vehicle, and there was this old hotel down by Lake Superior, because I live right by the lake, a couple miles, and they had this old low budget hotel. It was only $10 a night, so I'm like, oh, I can afford that. And the guy who worked there was telling me that his car got vandalized and everything else, so nobody there had a car, and his car got vandalized and everything else. So I'm like, what am I gonna do with my car? And I have 2 dogs, and at that time, during the dream, it was I had Lexi and Buddy, my Doberman, in my lap. So I'm having this dream, and I was up by the mall, up on the hill, and where we have the mall, and I had my dogs with, and my dogs ran away. I had all my dogs. I had Max, Lexi, Buddy, Tanner, Dakota. Dakota was my first collie. I lost him about 10 years ago, and my dogs ran away, and there was some guy that brought Lexi back, because she had a hard time walking in her later years. He brought Lexi back, and I found her in the middle of the street, and I got her back to the house, and I mean, it was just one thing after another, totally manipulated dreams, and I wasn't really sleeping. You're sitting there watching these dreams. You're not sleeping. You're not in a deep sleep. So you're sitting there watching these dreams, and you can watch them for hours. Before you know it, 2 hours went by, and you're sitting there watching these manipulated dreams being done. it really is amazing how they do that. You know, how the supercomputer does that. Um, you know, conscious computer does that. You know, it really is amazing how you can sit there and have manipulated dreams all night long. We're not getting real rest when we sleep, you guys. We're not getting real rest. They're doing manipulated dreams all night long, you know, and they're building a story on it. They're building a story, you know, creating this untrue story of these dreams, you know, about your dogs. It could be about your friends. It could be you hurting yourself. I when I was in the hospital, they had me in a manipulated dream. They had me jump off out the window, out a second story window, and I landed on a car and crushed the car and everything else. You know, so sometimes it's bad manipulated dreams, you know, and stuff where they have you hurt yourself, you know, and stuff. But you're not really sleeping. You're sitting there watching the whole dream as it happens. You know, you're not really sleeping at all. You know, you're sitting there with your eyes closed and you're just watching it. You know, and it's totally manipulated by the supercomputer. You know, it's really unbelievable. How do they do that? I don't know. You know, how do they throw your dogs in there, your friends in there? They have bad things happen to you. You know, make you homeless during your dreams, and do all kinds of things in your dreams. And sometimes they can get you to sleepwalk. I woke up the other night. I was thinking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, the wrestler. I woke up during the night and went outside and went to the back door because I was getting something it was related to Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know, they can't do that. They made me run out to my truck with my long underwear. You know, I was looking for dead bodies in my truck. You know, when I was awake, I went out there. Before I went out there, I had something to eat, and I didn't know what was going on. They can make you sleepwalk and almost put you in a trance. You know, it really is unbelievable what they can do with these weapons. You know, you got to be aware, and you're not aware. That's a problem. You're not aware. You know, you can walk outside in your long underwear and look in your truck, and and that's that. You know. So they can do all kinds of things. They've done all kinds of things to me when make me sleepwalk. You know. So manipulate dreams, sleepwalk, and they can affect our cognitive thinking. You know, they can block memories. They can fumble up our speech. You know, they can do all kinds of things. So that's my video for tonight, you guys. So not much going on. I'm just sitting here having a drink. Saturday night. I hate Sundays. I just don't like Sundays. There's nothing on TV. There's really nothing to do. It's gonna be rainy out tomorrow and kind of humid. There's nothing to do. You know, you're kind of sitting around being tortured if you're getting hit and stuff on Sundays. I just don't like Sundays at all. I just hate them. I hate Sundays. So unless I go to Amazon Prime and rent a movie or something like that, you know, maybe I'll do that. But other than that, I don't like Sundays at all. You know, Saturdays are okay, but I really don't like the weekends. I just don't like the weekends at all. So anyway, I suppose I'll cut this off. I hope you guys doing well out there. Hang in there. I don't know what we can do to stop this. We're trying to do everything, you know. And I don't know what else to do. We just got to keep on trying to do what we're doing and stuff. And thank you for the comments on the last video, you guys. I do read your comments. I don't reply all the time, and I'm sorry for that. But I've been just 4 months of getting hit hard. I've been getting hit hard for the last 4 months, and I'm waiting for this to end, waiting for it to lighten up a little bit and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off, and I'll talk to you guys later.